Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You think I gotten at least settled in here? Good morning, everyone. Nikki here. Nikki's leaving. I think I saw. It's only 2 o'clock in the morning. She can't tough it out. I'm kidding, Nikki. Good night. Always thanks to Nikki for all the support that she gives this channel for sure. Let's see. Who's it? Nikki, Scott, Logan. How you doing? Going gray? If you guys going grays, if you guys aren't subscribed, please subscribe to all the channels here. Robert Mack, how are you? Joe is here. Hey, Joe. Ralph, Tommy J, of course. And Black Sheep's here. Yay, Black Sheep. Andy. And this is a channel now, right, Andy? Travels. So if you guys aren't subscribed to Andy, by all means, I would. Daz. Hey, Daz Morton. And Daz is here. And Go Hopping. How you doing? How's it going? So, anyways, let's see. Where are we at? I got a video coming out today on the progress on the front pond. It's just a little short like the other ones. It'll come out for a couple of days under the excuse me, members only deal for just 2 days or something. Just give everybody a chance to kind of look at it. Just something, because I said I was going to do something for them. We're up to like 30 people now, so that's awesome. Like I said, I think it's like, I have to figure out exactly what the price that they put in there is that before Google eats up, their 50% or whatever it is. But it's like $39, which is cool. That kid's going to be ecstatic. So we'll get that all set up, and he's doing really well too, because I guess he plays guitar, so he was teaching. He got a couple of inside the complex there for very cheap, I'm sure, but he's giving lessons on the guitar, which is awesome. Hey, T, how you doing? Robert, how are you? Glad you could make it. Did I miss anybody? Nikki saying hi to Daz. Videos lately. Story. Okay. I know Daz has been out having a decent time over there in Pattaya. So anyway, it looks like Jake's here from Thailand. So I know he was testing his equipment. So let me change the screen here and let Jake out of jail. Can you hear me?
I got you loud and clear, Dave. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Sounds good.
Great. Yeah, I had some setting issues that were buried deep in Norton and other things like that. Getting ready to head out to Uttaradit this morning for some touring around. So I thought I'd just pop in real quick and say hi, because my ride's a little bit late.
Anytime.
Things are going well.
Good.
Here.
How you liking being here now?
It's been all family all the time so far. So things will start to maybe slow down a little bit. Most of the out-of-towners left already, and so just kind of settling in, watching over my father-in-law and those kind of things. And
so I bumped this up to your better 99%. She must be happy as hell. She's got to be ecstatic.
She really is. She really is.
Good.
The trip over, I'll be honest.
Tell her I said hello.
I most certainly will, Dave. The trip over, honestly, was not any problem at all. We didn't have any issues as far as transfers, layovers, or anything like that, or even coming into the airport in Bangkok. I mean, it literally, that new 45-day extension stamp, right. The exemption stamp for U.S. personnel worked just fine. I mean, passport and boarding card was all that you needed. That was it. No TM6, no nothing.
So what they said was pretty much true then. After October 1st, pretty much get on a plane and whatever the plane has, or if you're stopping in another country that has restrictions, that would be different. But coming here, it sounds like it's wide open.
You know what's funny, Dave, is in public place in the airport. Korea, which was one of our stopovers, has a mask mandate in the airport, and they said Delta's policy used to be, well, hey, if you're flying into wherever you're flying to, you'd have to wear the mask, which meant we would have been in that thing 15 and a half hours.
Right.
But that wasn't the case on the all the way on the flight over. They just announced it, just prior to landing. Hey, you got to mask up when you get off the airplane. So it's my sister-in-law. So
Tell her,
all right.
hello, sister-in-law.
That's no.
Yeah, well, that's
no,
what is because every time that I see Logan, who's going grays, he in the service in Korea. I never seen him. I don't know. Were you wearing a mask, Logan? I think Logan. Oh, there he is. Jake, when you are going retirement, when are you going to grow a retirement beard?
I actually, when I'm back home, I shave twice a day because I'm a little hairy leprechaun. But no, I grew a mustache once, and my wife was not having any part of it. So
mine would like me to shave mine too, I'm sure. But I don't know, Logan. The stuff I'm trying to remember, the one where you walked in and did the comparison on the base and then in the local stores. I don't remember you wearing a mask. Hey, hola, Louis, how you doing?
Yeah, I saw Daz's comment. It was the same. It was like 2 minutes to get through immigration. I mean, it had like
that's awesome.
People in front of me. I thought I had lost my boarding pass.
Oh, that wouldn't have been good.
Yeah.
But I know a lot of people were. In fact, I think Daz was one of them. It's like until they get everything where I can just come in, I don't even want to be bothered. And I think is the view of a lot of people coming. They're just why can't I just get on a plane and go? Well, that pretty much is all you have to do now. So there's no excuse.
Well, that was my wife's stipulation too. She didn't want to go through any real BS or anything with Thailand pass or any of that stuff. So,
right. Good.
But hey, Dave, I'm going to have to duck out. I got to pack this computer up and put things away. I'm, like I said, my ride ought to be here any minute. Thanks for letting me on and saying hi. Good luck with the rest of the live stream. And I'll be chatting at you later, brother. Take care.
You got it. All right.
Bye.
Bye. Hey, Sean, how you doing? Off the hook, the fishing. This is from Bobby, and everybody's kind of in a little group deal. All the gals from the Philippines and Bobby and off the hook and a bunch of other stuff. But if you guys are into family stuff, which I think most of the people here are, and like hunting and fishing, definitely subscribe. Good channel. Let's see. Around June, the outdoor mask requirement ended in Korea. I did wear a mask indoors. I would pull it down. Okay, okay, out of the camera. Yeah, because it's kind of weird talking through the mask. I've had to do it a couple times in the videos that I have done. Let's see, what visa? Sean wants to know, Daz, what visa did you enter with? Hello, off the hook. Yeah, so that was nice of Jake. So Jake's here. I think for sure he's going to be there on November 5th. I'm almost positive. And there, I mean the Wombat for the first Saturday of every month. They have like a people that are somehow affiliated with YouTube or whatever. They everybody can come and sit around and have a beer and talk to whoever they want to, or don't talk to anybody. But I only went to one and it was fun. I had a good time. Gotta go soon. What does Andy say? Meeting up with Mark. Oh, really? Oh, very cool. Tell them both that I said hi. Meeting. I got your meaning, Andy. My return flight is 90 days. I was planning to go to the VA exemption, but maybe I need to change that. Yeah, you're kind of bouncing around on what you need to do. No visa, just a stamp. So on entry. So what is that? 45 days, and you said 65 days. I'm here for 65 days. So you're gonna get 45, and then you can get 30 more, right? I think so. You're covered. I'm guessing. I could be wrong. Let's see. So anyway, so I'm glad that Jake got in. He's going to try to make it over there for that. and I know that they had a lot of stuff to take care of in the village where his wife is from. So that's cool. Good morning to you. Welcome. Let's see what Dad's dragging. So, will they let me enter with my itinerary? I was planning to do the visa run to. I was gonna do the 45-day plus 30 visa run, get another 45. I would imagine they'd let you do that at least once. I know that they're kind of frowning. I don't know how to only hearsay of what I've heard, Sean. That you can only do it so many times or something. Do the what they used to call a visa run, but I didn't have any problem when I was here. I did it three or four times. I'm trying to think because I came here, stayed my tourist visa, got my extension, and then came back to L.A. Spent 2 weeks in L.A. Got another one and went back. I think I did that three times. They didn't bother me then, but I heard there's all sorts of crap out there going around. So definitely check straight with the government, but I would get whatever advice you can off here. Just go to Singapore for the weekend or something. Yeah, I would think so. At least once, anyway. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think they're gonna go crazy over that. If you started doing it for 2.5 years straight or something, every time, then maybe they would. But one time, I don't think they'll bother. Um, Media just for the weekend or something. Fine, be back 45. Yeah, Dave, I only want to do it once, but they say if you fly out, they don't care as much. Well, you're probably going to fly anyway, right? If you were to go to KO, I would imagine. I've never been there, so any place that if I was doing it, but I have my retirement, so it isn't a big deal. But or you can get 60-day tourist visa and extend a month. Yeah, that's true because that's what mine was, right? Mine was 30, 60 days plus I got 30, so 90 days. Yeah. So if you're only going to be here for 90 days, um, and the tourist visas I got before, I got them right at LA at the embassy. It was pretty easy too. Like I said, I don't know where you are, or I can't remember. I know you've told me, but LA, go in the morning 9:30, drop off your passport, go out and have lunch, have a little fun, around LA down there, and about 3 o'clock, come back, signed, sealed, and delivered. Pick it up and go. And they check all your paperwork before you leave in the morning, so that they know they have everything and your phone number in case something does pop up. Never had that happen. Yeah, and they do it one day. So I don't know. Let's see. Flying out and coming back isn't an issue, but sometimes they're prickly about. Yeah, walking across. I've kind of heard that too, but I don't know. I haven't, I haven't left. Although I do want to soon, and we'll probably drive to Cambodia and walk and go across. However you get there. Same thing with Laos. We'll probably fly into Vietnam and fly pretty much every other place that we're going to go. Black Sheep's got a question. Nice, Mike. What did it cost? Yeah, this has ended up being. I had the Shure mic and the little board thing or sound card, which I think was basically made more for. I talked to Chris about it. Chris is really good on all that stuff. Um, for people like Verna, all the gals in the Philippines, or anybody that's doing like karaoke stuff, it would have been perfect. But this one is so easy. This is the same mic. I did use the arm the reason I bought the other one, and did hook it up this way. And how does it sound? I don't. I did it with Chris temporarily, kind of hung it up there, but now it's mounted. So we'll see. Yeah, it's the same same mic, that USB Chinese on it. It's got volume control. My headphone that you can kind of see the wire is the only bummer, but you can't really see it. And then it's got the echo and volume on it, and I just max it out. But right now I have it set on. There's right as I clicked it over. Yes, you still sound just fine. I know it almost sounds like I'm horribly worried about it, which, like I said, and I said the same story before. When I first started doing the house videos, Joe told me, try to do when you do the walkthroughs and stuff after the people have left, and because it's loud and stuff. I go, okay. I didn't really think about it, and then he said people will start commenting and saying why it's too loud, you can't hear, stuff, and people get crazy on it. I want to have decent stuff. I like to have good camera stuff, and so I put more money into camera stuff. But of course, you have to actually have to do vlogs and videos to use that equipment. But and I am going to start doing more. I think, besides the fact that it'll get me out of the house, I'll do a couple going and um, after I've been going to the gym for about a week. So in about 3 or 4 days, I'll um, I'll do a little drive there and show the gym. I think I've done it before, but I'll do one on that. I just got to start doing more. Uh, so that's what I was going to check, Chris. As I went to settings, I have it set on. Does it sound any different when off? You said there was more background. If I put this on, does it change any, or does it sound exactly the same? So that's with the echo off, and I actually put the stereo on. Does it make a difference? So I'm taking the stereo off, putting the echo cancellation back on, because that's what you said. It sounded okay. Hey Maui, how you doing? First time commenting, Joe. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it. I'm glad that people that are subscribed start commenting. It's awesome. And like I said, it doesn't have to be, I'm not, unless you're nasty and make a comment, then the guys will, and gals will jump on it. But otherwise, uh, constructive criticism, I got no problem with. In fact, I would want to know, if anybody, hey, you sound like shit. That's okay. I don't have a problem, I guess is what I'm saying with that. I don't think I have anybody blocked that wasn't just an outright troll, or in jail. And they will be able to come out on January 1st, like I did last year. And I think all of them went back in the first day. So we'll see. Leave it where you had it first. Yeah. And that's right where it is right now. And then I have it on. I'm not even checking or, doing the volume myself. I have it on the automatically adjust. I think it's fine, like Chris says. I think I worry about it. I worry about it too much. And yeah, Andrew, how are you? And everybody's saying hi to each other. So that's kind of fun with that. I still have that other mic. I still have this one here. So if anybody is subscribed to the channel and in the vicinity of Surin, I'd be more than happy to give you the especially if you're going to get into the karaoke thing. I still have the old arm, which there was really, when I took it apart, there really wasn't anything wrong with it. So I thought it was, but it was basically the way that it was clamped to the table. So anyway, I got the box, the microphone, everything in it was used for 3 minutes. I'd be willing to give it to any subscriber that comes by. It'll probably be Chris, because he'll get here before Mitch. So just kidding. Hey Verna, how you doing? Morning to you. But I'd be willing to do that. It's just going to sit there and never get used. Might as well have somebody. And it's got the little karaoke box thing or sound card. So somebody could get a good use out of it. I'd be more than happy to give it to them. No tech stuff. What did Chris say? No tech stuff and buttons pushing today. Yeah, no, not at all. We did that in the live stream. I know Mike's he's been doing it forever. So any little thing that he hears in the sound or anything, I'm sure he freaks him out. Where me, I won't even hear it. But Mike's is a good guy. In case you guys aren't subscribed to Live My Ass Off, please do. And he has a Saturday morning, 8 a.m. with Robbie. See, I remembered the name again. Robbie, I think, Walking in My Shoes. They do a live stream together, usually about an hour or so, hour and a half. Usually on good subjects. A bunch of people from here are popping over there watching it. So, in fact, I canceled mine last Saturday and made it Sunday because 2 days, 3 days, it doesn't really matter. I don't think people are going to go, oh my God, I can't listen to Dave today. I'm gonna have to do something. So I think it's fine. But good guys. Seem like I haven't met Robbie yet, so I'm hoping to meet him when I go over that way. I still had a slug of coffee before I hit my water. Everybody's saying hi, which is awesome. Ah, there's Mitch. So I knew it, Coke. When I mentioned his name and coming to Serin, I figured he'd pop in. Let's see. Where was he? I think he was. Yeah, he was for a little while. Well, that's what happens when you don't do things correctly. I'm waiting. I'm still waiting. Let's see. Hey, Craig, how you doing? Morning, Dave, and hello from the one. And I haven't caught up. I think I'm like 3 behind. If you guys aren't subscribed, how close are? What's Uncle Craig? Where are you over? Where are you at subwise now? I know you're creeping up on it. A lot of people are, which is awesome. It's kind of it's a milestone. Once you hit it, I mean, it didn't really. I mean, it was fantastic. I mean, it was great to do, but that 100 and 1,000 to me was a big deal. I don't think I'm gonna ever get more than what I have right now, so I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. Which I don't have a problem with, except I want to meet people. So hopefully, as we lose people, we gain some new ones that everybody can meet and talk to. The team. I'm not at immigration. I'm actually meeting in Bangkok. It was far cheaper for me to meet the team that they have a team to come to meet. Very good. Very good. Hovering at 465. Yeah, it's weird, man. All of a sudden you get a spike. What I'm kind of hoping that if Richard's watching, maybe on one of these shows, he can get you on for the to help him with the vlogger news or do something, highlight something. I know he did it for me and it helped me. Just he gives you that little bit of momentum, and then people subscribe, and then all of a sudden it goes, and then it comes back, and it goes down too. I know you see it. I see it all the time. Hey, Jim and Meow, how are you? Jim is driving to Global House by himself. We're going what, broke? Broke now? It sure seemed that way to me when I first got it. When I went to Kamala, I had a nice place, actually a deposit and stuff put down on it that I actually lost because I decided that I wanted to move to Shrim with my wife, our girlfriend at the time. But when I did move here, she picked out the first rental house we had. Of course, sent me videos and pictures and line, FaceTime, everything, of the house. And then I had the place completely repainted. We had to buy, of course, everything. Furniture was empty. Trying to think what we paid for it. I think it was 8,000, 9,000, 8,000 baht, something like that, I think. Nice place. And that was the one that, she ended up selling. So kind of a bummer. But I think that's what you were saying. Maybe I got it wrong. Yeah, maybe it was, because you're spending money, you feel like you're going broke. Richard Travel has a top-notch show. Very impressed. Yeah, he does. He's a good guy. And I'm sure Richard's probably lurking. And Richard's mom, how you doing? I'm excited that you watch occasionally. Especially you should watch the intros and the outros because your son did those. Yeah, so I don't know if that's what you meant, Jam, but it seemed that way for me. I mean, Well, because I got the mattress that I wanted. I spent the most money on my comfort. My wife got a really nice bed frame and couch. We got a really nice couch, real nice kitchen table. We had to get everything, microwave, you know, uh, air fryer, oven, stove, dishes, everything. When we moved in there, we had nothing because I didn't realize until later, and people that watch and remember stuff. I I think two years after living with her, we were talking one night, and she said, I've never lived any place but my mom and dad's." And I went, "What do Because I don't know if people know, fairly common here in Thailand when my wife got married the first time, the husband came and lived there, and then they had the kids there at my in-laws' place. It's fairly common, and so then they got divorced, and he left, and she never lived any place but well, she went to college and that kind of stuff, but living with someone, you know, a boyfriend, a husband, she had never done it uh, outside of her mom and dad's place. Pretty interesting stuff. What did I saying hello? I'm trying to catch back up because I rambled again. Um, yeah, I did see the flooding that they got. They got hit pretty hard. So did I was talking to or seeing some stuff that was in Patea, and Mitch said that he saw that was waist deep stuff and whatever. But he said that they must be getting fairly close in Patea on their infrastructure stuff because he said by the next day it was all gone. So it went away fairly quick. I don't know if it was the next day. Oh, God, my legs are killing me. Hey, Baldy, how you doing? You're back home now, right? I think. I think Baldy's back home. Simply, hey, Nanette, how are you? If I missed you earlier, yeah, I did. And Tim's here. Are you in your home? Are you calling us from the new hacienda? I know he was waiting on. I think he was moved in. I sometimes I get confused, but I know he was waiting on water. They still were putting together all I guess the water, the filtration, the pipes, everything because of the rain. I still haven't swagged. I want to do that now. Now it's cold coffee. Which one was it? Was it the one that he was talking about people calling him out? Is that the one? I think that's the one you're talking about. I think it was today's. God, it's like I try to watch everybody's videos and it's getting harder and harder. I'm glad that you're doing good. Um, Moved in, but no water in the house yet. Bummer. Man, it's still raining there. We got a little bit of rain in the night now, but during the day it's been okay. But of course, once it muddies up everything you got there, it's hard for them to trench and put in underground piping. I would imagine, and do the pool. I'm sure the pool's still on hold. There. Everybody says we miss to see you in Thailand, Daz. Excuse me. Then. Um, Matea's been dry for a week. Yeah, as soon as you got here, right? The weather changed when you got your tickets. It does is good luck on every place. Maybe he needs to go to the bad places. No rain. They're still building the pump house. Okay, because I know they had poured the foundation. I'm trying to think the last video that I watched of yours. I can't remember. I think they had put in more concrete, and then they had put in the foundation and everything for the pump room. And I think they were starting to build it. God, I can't remember. I'm horrible. Sorry. Let's see. So anyway, I finally ordered the correct stuff that I wanted. I scraped the fish. I'm talking about the koi, and and it was anchor worm. So or anchor, yeah, anchor worm. So the stuff that I wanted to treat it is it doesn't affect anything. You can put it right in. Doesn't affect your biological filter. Doesn't do anything. It affects the fish a little bit. They want to flash more as they die and stuff. It irritates them a little bit, but it's the safest stuff to treat for that particular parasite. And they all seem. I did it yesterday. It came yesterday at noon or 11:30, and I mixed it up and had it in there by noon. So 24 hours. It'll stay in there regardless. Anchorworm has they have our flukes. I'm sure I said anchorworm. Flukes. I'm sorry. They have gill flukes and skin flukes, and it's really weird because, and I can't remember off the top of my head which is which, but the skin flukes they look almost exactly the same, but I think it's the skin flukes. They have they're live bearers, so when you treat for it, it'll kill all them. But the gill flukes, they lay eggs. So what you have to do, I have to treat again on Saturday to make a long story short and not bore you too much. So I got that done. Thank God. Here's one of my favorite people. We'll bring him in. Richard, how you doing?
Hello, I'm doing great. How are you?
Your mic sounds good. Way better
Thank
than
you.
mine.
Yeah, that was a cool test you had.
If I get closer, I think it sounds better.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. You got to have it like so close to get the effect. Otherwise, it's like regular mic.
And, like I said, I think most of the people, they want to see a blurry deal over my face, and the sound can be a little off. They'll still watch. They'll watch more. But how are you doing?
Good. Actually, I'm trying to get rid of a couch tonight on Craigslist. I'm giving it away for free.
So you crazy. Set that outside your house in California. It'll be gone in 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's probably the easier way than what I'm doing, which is juggling like 4 different people that said they were going to come and they don't show up.
Yeah,
okay,
exactly.
Next, now you come. Now you're not going to show up. Okay, next person.
That does happen. I forget who it was that said, "Oh, the dirt." When I said I need to figure out what I'm going to do with the dirt, God, who was it? I can't remember who it was that said, "I just put it out front and put free on it. It'll be gone by morning."
Yeah.
And in California, that's what I had found. They don't like you setting stuff outside, but 9 times out of 10, if it's halfway decent, it's gone before it gets dark.
Yeah, that's true. What are you drinking there? A little espresso?
No, it's my wife got me a little coffee maker, and it came with these Starbucks shot glasses. Oh. So I have 3 of these. I figure is almost a cup of coffee.
So yeah, you know what's funny? I used to be a big green tea drinker from Starbucks. I'd get their largest tea. It was called venti. I think it was the same size as a bottle of wine. But I'll tell you what, heart couldn't take it. I get like these heart palpitations. So I had to go off of green tea. Now I drink like the matcha green tea, which is like a little different. Not as much caffeine, keeps you focused. Yeah.
What I used to drink, what I used to love, and I probably shouldn't have been drinking those either, was they had those Arizona teas. What are they, 99 cents? Those things in this big around and this tall. They were always good. And there was always a bunch of different flavors, strawberry lemonade and all sorts of good stuff that probably just made me fatter and wasn't good for my heart.
So tell me about where your mic is located. Now you have a boom arm. Is that a new boom arm that you're using?
Yeah, but I thought it was my boom arm. That's why I bought that Shure mic. Mm-hmm. I bought that because it was 890 baht or something like that for the mic, the little spit guard or whatever they call that.
Yeah, that's what I got on here. This thing.
Yeah. That, and then the arm and the all the cables for it, and the little V something soundboard. And I never figured out how to hook it up. And yesterday, I was sitting here bored, and I said, I can't be that stupid. I got to be able to figure this out. So I got it together, and then I coerced Chris into coming and listening to it and do it. But I think it's made more for, like I had said earlier, somebody that's doing karaoke. It would be a perfect little setup that I'd be willing to give any subscriber that's in this area. Well, I would say I'd mail it to you, but I'm too lazy and I won't do it. So I'll just say goodbye.
Yeah, I think like you have to consider the source that you're going into. So like for professional recording, I'm all for like that kind of setup. But StreamYard, that's difficult because StreamYard, I don't think we'll be able to appreciate what you're doing, which is throwing it through a soundboard. You need something like OBS, which
Yeah.
is where you can adjust different levels, which I don't like, man. You need like less stuff to adjust.
I tried it. I
Keep
tried it
simple.
one time, and I was frustrated in 30 seconds. I said, "Nope, I'm going to do what I know how to do, and that's StreamYard. That's the only thing that I halfway know." And but the arm. It wasn't the arm. I bought the arm. So anyway, the reason that I bought it was I looked at the arm, and the arm was like 300 baht or something like that for a cheap arm. And so I said, well, I might as well just buy the whole kit for another 500, for another 10, 12 bucks. I'll buy the whole kit and check out the microphone. So that's what I did. So it isn't really. So I got the whole box with the arm, with everything in it. And like I said, if somebody comes by, they can have it.
Yeah. Did you get a shock mount on yours too? I have this thing. The base here is the shock mount. Which is so important.
I got the shock mount.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got the shock mount, and I got everything was in that box. And it's even cheaper now. It's like, no, it's just about the same, 800. But they came out with a new board that's solid state or whatever, instead of having little push buttons, clicker buttons. It's got the like sensitive, whatever they are. I don't know.
Well, it's funny because I've been looking at like new boom arms, because I don't know if you're aware of this, but like there's so many boom arms that are like $100 pretty much. They're all do the same thing, and they're kind of like half-assed. So I've had this one for a while, and what happens
that one looks
is
like a good one.
Well, if you want to put the mic like in a certain area, like a certain angle, the weight of it will cause the boom arm to slip a little bit. I had that happen about 3 weeks ago. Like the 5 minutes before the show, the mic went down. I'm like, are you kidding me? This can't happen. So, but the problem is like the next level of boom arm is like $500.
Yeah, there's one that
jump up.
I'm trying to think of the name of one that came highly recommended. It was Rogue.
I've heard of GatorWorks. GatorWorks is supposed to be real good. That's what Joe Rogan uses, that brand.
The Rode one, like the Rode mic.
Rode, yeah.
They make
Same price.
They make a boom. They make a boom arm.
Yeah,
and it's supposed to be.
Still, it's okay. It's okay, right?
Is it? Yeah, that's what I heard. I didn't want to spend the money. It's like if I was really high tech and thought, hey, someday I'm going to reach like 100,000 people, and I'd say, okay, maybe I should upgrade my stuff. But I think people that are going to watch me, they're not going to care whether I overmodulate every once in a while. I don't think they're going to bust my stones about that. But if they did, I would, because I care about the people that.
I think you sound great. I think it sounds good. Yeah.
White foam for cover, it'll match your beard. Yeah, I could put it up closer. But it works pretty good. And what's good about that is before it used to be down here, and that's where my coffee was, and it was kind of a pain in the rear to get it. Now I can drink my stuff and it's out of the way.
I think boom arms are great because like when you're not live,
I put them out of the way.
Like great, But you have to have it pretty close. You got to get used to having it closer, Dave. Like you got to.
Yeah, I know, because it does. I will say that
sounds better.
It does sound a lot better.
Close, and that actually looks good. I feel like that looks cool.
Okay,
so maybe
I'll go with Richard. Richard said it's cool.
Don't listen to me, man. Now it's all over. Now
I was talking to my buddy because the one guy that's on here. You probably, I don't know if you've had a chance to check out his channel. That's Uncle Craig. But I told him that maybe Richard will check it. Maybe Richard, because he's kind of stuck at like 400 and something. He's hovering as you do.
Oh, we're good at getting people unstuck. You know that, Dave.
Yeah. So I told him, I said, try to get a hold of Richard, and maybe he'll have on for, 5 seconds on a vlogger review and say hello. Maybe he'll do a dance for him or something, whatever. Talk to Richard, and he'll probably help you out. He's a good guy. So, but I'm looking forward to meeting him. He seems like he's my kind of guy. Down to earth, fun loving, old hippie type, fun stuff. So
I think there was a bunch of people that were saying like hello Mojo. I saw Daz Dragons, and I saw Daz Dragon's little cameo appearance on Jiu-Jitsu Traveler.
Yeah.
And I've actually seen Daz on No Time to Be Sad's videos when he was in Texas, I think.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And he was even when there's quite a few of them when he first met him here in Chuck's videos. Quite a few of them with Daz in it.
And then, of course, Tommy J was on one of Chuck's videos, too.
Yes, when he was in the States. Yeah,
a couple of times, actually.
Yeah, and where did I see him? Who was doing a live stream from Nick Dean's thing? Fa was,
Fall
and
1985.
yeah, and both Mitch and Daz got on that, and that sounded like it was a good time. They had a fun time there.
So you got to get better with like whenever you mention people, you got to say the full channel name, like instead of Fa, like Fa 1985. And I know
Yeah, I
you say
know.
James like Chocolate Man in Thailand, James.
Yeah, and what else you got to do too? And with James too, he's also. And if you want to watch him live, it's Chocolate Man in Thailand
Yeah,
live,
yeah,
James. So he's got two, and I guess that's a smart thing to do if you're keep your lives separate from your have two different channels. I think it's a
yeah. I
smart.
mean, if you're especially if you're doing mobile lives, I feel like because if you have to delete a video or
Right.
YouTube strikes you, like it's not a big
Yeah.
deal. It's like I'll just
Right.
build it back up, open another one.
I think that's a very smart move for somebody like that. I mean, mine are mostly. I really want to get better at the vlogs, but it's just like my biggest thing. Like I probably would have gotten more views on filming the 17-year-old's birthday party and dinner and stuff. A little video on that. A lot of the people here anyway like to watch the family stuff, and I really appreciate that. They really support me on when I put up my daughter's traditional Thai dance videos. Those are mainly for family and everything, and a lot of the people watch them and comment, which is awesome. So
So I got to tell you a funny story if you're done. I didn't want to interrupt you.
yeah, no, I'm done.
So the live show this last week, I had a comment that came in that was kind of critical of me. It's saying, listen, Richard, you have to look up to the camera, stop looking down like what you're doing. You have to look up, professional. You were doing that before, now you're not doing. So it's a long comment, right? And I was kind of getting into it. I feel like I wanted to respond back like, hey, listen, I'm like working on getting videos loaded up, looking at the guests and stuff. Like I'm doing a lot of different stuff. And then I realized, what am I doing? Like I just say thank you and move on to the next comment.
Yeah,
So I did that. And I guess
Tommy J shouldn't be that critical of you. Tommy J ought to leave it up
totally.
to comments.
But what's funny is one of my guests, I will not say who it was, one of my guests that was on the show came back around and saw that comment and kind of stood up for me and really
Yeah.
fired back.
Awesome.
And I saw the comments go back and forth. And I was like, ooh. I just said thanks.
Very
But,
good, very good.
yeah.
It is. It's and I kid with Tommy J because we both appreciate his outlook on everything and he especially with you way before me, but the stuff that he gives me, the way he backs everything and always has good stuff, always has good ideas. He's just a good dude, Tommy.
He's got
you're
great
wonderful.
information. He always gives me
Yes.
great intel before the show, stuff like this, questions to ask. Yeah, he always is very clutch for me.
Somebody wants to know, is that you in the Christmas suit in the picture on YouTube? You look fit. Yeah, maybe when I was in my mid-20s. No, it isn't me. But I did. I'm kind of thinking about maybe anybody that shows Santa Claus on YouTube. I'm going to try to get them a copyright strike. I'm going to say they're coming. I'm the only Santa Claus that should be on. And I kidded with Verna this morning. She had an awesome little thing. She just put up non-copyrighted Christmas music as a premiere for like 15, 20 minutes. And I love this time of year, especially with kids when I had my own kids, and kids make Christmas as far as I'm concerned. But when you got that, and I remember we went crazy. My daughter's first birthday, second birthday. She was 2, right? My wife at the time, who was the one that we won't go into that, but I think we had like 80 presents for a 2-year-old to open. We started Christmas in the morning. The poor kid was exhausted 3 hours later and still hadn't opened up, all the Christmas presents. But Christmas is a good time of year. It's I enjoy this time of year that we're running into already because people are already starting to, which is kind of because it's going to be November very soon, a couple of weeks. So yeah, we're getting there.
We are. The year's flying by. October's flown by.
I'm telling you, man, it scares me, and I've said it a million times. The older I get, the faster they go, man. All of a sudden, it's going to be this time next year at the snap of a finger. For me, anyway, it just is going faster and faster. That's why I got to start enjoying myself and living life to the max. And,
that's a new slogan for you. Hello, Robert N.
Not putting stuff off either, man. And I got to get, I want to get the passport back and do some traveling. And I've already talked to Chris, Nomads, and I think I saw T in here earlier. I didn't get a chance. If you're still here, T, how
Benja
you
make it
doing?
in today?
No, I didn't see Benja. She's
What
been
about
on
Nikki?
Facebook a couple of times.
Nikki in here?
Nikki was here earlier.
There's
Yeah, she
Baldy
gets here.
Brian. Baldy Brian.
Baldy's here.
I got to get Baldy Brian scheduled on the live show. He's so good about sending me email reminders. I got to get his schedule.
And you know who else I feel really bad about is CJ.
Yeah, he emailed me recently, just the other day. Yeah. He thanked me. He's like, listen, he doesn't know why the channel got taken down. His previous channel.
That's what he told me too. He had no idea. And I guess that's the same way. And I'm not too close. I met him at the meetup. Was what's his name in guy that owns all the bars in Pattaya?
Brian Flowers.
Flowers, yeah, really a nice guy, man. I talked to him the most at the one meetup that I was at, and he had the same thing. He had no clue. They don't tell you, I guess, which I find it very freaking. I mean, you can't spend 2 seconds and say we took it down because you said arsehole or whatever. You cussed and we took you down. Okay, well at least okay, I won't cuss. I don't want to anyway, and I shouldn't even have said that because now my grandkids, 20 years from now, Grandpa cussed. Look, so but it would be tough, especially he just hit 1,000. He just hit 1,000 subscribers, and that's a big, big
metric. Get monetized and everything, and
I think it's the biggest first threshold. Me was 100 because I didn't figure there was 100 people on the planet that wanted to talk to me, or listen to me ramble. But the 1,000 was I think it's a big milestone for everything. Look at Chev and Dev. Did I get the name right?
Yeah, you did. This time you got
1,000.
right.
I thought she was going to come unglued and you couldn't nail her down. She was jumping around. No, I didn't get that excited, but I could see why. And God bless them because they can go out there and they can make a living and get to do stuff I wish I could have done at their age, and cruised around and had, YouTube pay for it. I say YouTube pay for it, but they bust their rear ends. Anybody that thinks that you can go on YouTube and it isn't a lot of work to make any money, to make money, you need to do a lot of work. I don't worry about it. That's not what I'm here. But people that do it because they want to make money, like 20 Seconds in Thailand, Rob, he does it. They go after him all the time, and I'm talking about the trolls, but they go after him all the time, and it's like, why? The platform is here for people to make money. Platform's not here for people to waste their time like me and have a good time. I'm telling you, man,
it's like textbook crabs in a barrel. Remember, I told that story about like you put one crab in a barrel, it just walks right out, right? But you put two or more, when the crab starts to walk out, the others pull it down. It's just jealousy, man. I see it all the time, Big
time.
So,
and because he's perfectly open about this is the way I've stayed in Thailand ever since I got here. I only had 2,000 or whatever it was when I got here. It's my Patreons, it's people on YouTube, it's all this stuff that make me able to do content and to stay in Thailand. And he's not like, trying to hide it, and they call people names, e-beggars and stuff like that. It's like, I don't know. I don't want to go down that road today. Let's see, 1,000 subs. Who's Baldy said? 1,000 subs is far away dream for me. It'll come, Baldy. I mean, you especially, I don't know if you've watched his new content. I like his new intro, the lives that he did. Even there wasn't a bunch of people watching him, and he was having a good time. I like family stuff. I mean, it isn't exactly the way I was 30 years ago, but it's the way I am now, and I like that. I like the stuff, and I think he's got good content, and he's getting better and better and better. So you will. There's no doubt in my mind you'll hit that.
Yeah, he has the content and he knows what he's doing. I mean, Tommy J had a good comment on there. I think it's a great story about like how much Tommy J and I really do collaborate throughout the week for the show. So he's talking about the thumbnail him and I put together for the first Brian Flowers appearance. It was him with the fancy car. And I really was laboring like what kind of car to put in there, what color, this kind of stuff, back and forth, back and forth. He sent me a couple pictures and just nailed it. And I feel like that was a really well-performing live show. And it's because like Tommy J was like integral in that. Like we swap pictures back and forth, back and forth. And the cool thing about Tommy is he's not just like a yes man. He doesn't say like, yeah, it looks good. Like he'll tell me when it's bad. It's like, not your best. He's nice about it. He's like, not your best. I know that means
but those are the people. Those are the people you want, though.
Yeah,
that's the critique you want. Yeah, I would agree. Hey, Aaron, let's see. My wife handed me something here. Is this what he wants to get paid? How much do we owe?
Hey, Ron John, how you doing? Welcome.
The first
Your Mojo Nomad Global Productions. Welcome. Ty Nomad says, don't worry about the subs as long as we're enjoying it. I think that's good advice.
And the last column is we need to pay.
This?
And last, yeah.
Gas Dragon is staying in a small condo in Jomtien now.
See, Richard's taking over. Thank you, Richard. Will you do that for a second so I can ask my wife about this?
Do it.
What a guy.
Yeah. So Daz is in Jomtien. I wish I could highlight the comments. That'd be even better, but I can't do that. Don't have the authority. Let's see who else is in here. Going Grays. Going Grays always leaves me great comments on the live show. Appreciate that, Going Grays. Really appreciate that, man. We have ET in the house saying hello to Aaron. Scott Hummer saying hello to Aaron as well. Saucy May and Bruce say 365 more days and it'll be this time next year. Love that. It's great. That's kind of like similar to the saying, I'll see you when you see me. I think that's pretty popular in Thailand. Balut John is saying, I've never done a live, have no times for trolls. Yeah, and I feel like that's what I kind of miss when I first started doing the live streams was that, like just having like 14 to 20 people that were all your friends. That's when it was super fun. But then you kind of reach that point where you got to kind of be careful and watch out. And then it becomes more of like the business side of it, where before you go live, you got to check and see who you have blocked, and the moderator, you have to have moderators helping you out, because if you have one bad comment in the chat, YouTube will pick it up and you could have your channel shut down for something you never saw. So that's why I always say, like, for my live show, moderators are crucial. And some people say I have too many, because I do have a lot, but you don't want to miss even one comment. So they do a great job. Robert N says, I can't wait to get back to Thailand. Mark in Thailand is in the house saying, good morning, all. Way too many individuals to say hi to, exception being Richard and Dave, of course. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that, man. And for those just coming in, Dave is off camera working on some finances with his wife. So he gave me the keys, said, keep it going. Yads Amodia Vlog says, hi, teacher Muin. And let's see, simply Nanette. I hope I'm saying that right, because I know you were in the show this last weekend. Saying hello to Ron John, Aaron, Thai Nomads, and Muon. Saying hello to everyone. Thailand Nomad. One problem with StreamYard, the comments come in, and then all of a sudden they'll slip up, and you lost your place. That's the worst. So I didn't see that. All that. Tommy J saying hello to Tom. Your Mojo saying hello to Tom. Awesome. So I don't know if you guys heard, I'm 112 subscribers away from 10,000. So I usually don't celebrate metrics like that, because it's not really about subs. It's really about just putting on a good show that everyone likes. But I'm kind of excited about this one. 10,000 subscribers was something I thought would never happen. So I'm looking forward to maybe crossing over there in the next couple of weeks, but you never know. And with that, guess who's back?
Yeah. That's awesome. So it is creeping up there. That I'm guessing that you might get it on this next Saturday.
Well, you know what's weird? There's two metrics where you stall. One is at just under 1,000, and one is at 10,000. Then you have another one at 100,000. But for the 10,000 one, YouTube kind of like stalls the count, and they'll go back and check subs. And they'll see, are these all active subs? Have they viewed one of your videos in the last 12 months? If not, get them out of here. They're off. So sometimes you'll see a dip. Yeah, well, that's what I hear. I mean, we never know what they really do, right? We just hear things.
Hey, Monoa, how are you? Yeah, so what the deal was, I tell my headphones are falling apart. They're broken. They're starting on the back pond. So she's staying home from work today. She's got a headache. So I'm going to go after I get done here and lay out with him and I guess they'll start digging it. So I'm going to have to figure out where to put the dirt. But it was finances as far as the guys are, they're great guys at work, and the work is. I give him a certain amount. 400 baht a day. What is that at the exchange rate right now? $10,
Yeah.
$12 or something. I mean, it's ridiculous, and they're happy to have it.
Thank you, Dip
Because
Media.
hey, what's up? Hey,
Dave, I'm
David,
sorry. I'm going to have to actually exit out the side door. I got that guy coming from my couch. So I'll try to
no
come
problem.
back on if you're still on. Sorry.
Yeah.
But I'm glad I was here to help out, though, at least.
Hey, thanks, Richard. I appreciate it. All right.
Thank
10,000.
you, everybody.
Everybody who's not subscribed, please
All right.
subscribe
See you guys later.
to Richard. There he went. So anyway, so hopefully I'll start on that. It'll go. And what I was saying was, the guys come and well, I've got a brand new scooter and I haven't paid for it. Can I borrow 5,000 baht and then, pay you back? And he's done it already once. And now he's done it again. And now he's half paid it back with this pay. So they're a good bunch of guys, 3 of them that are working. So basically it cost me 8, 9, 10, 11, 1,200 baht a day for 3 guys. How much is 1,200 baht? That's ridiculously cheap, right? For 3 guys. At today's exchange rate, which is 38, 1,200 divided by 38, $31.57. So basically a little over $10 each. And they're happy to work, man. I mean, they want to work, And when I told them before, I said, I can't, we just want to work. We just want to work. They don't want to go into someplace else. They'll have to go to another area. They have to go, and especially during the virus, more on the virus stuff, they didn't like traveling. And I know I said hi, David. I didn't see morning to all. Richard, maybe you should list the troll's name. Everyone else knows who to ignore. Oh, there's not a bunch of them. I've got a bunch. I've got a bunch in jail, and like I said, maybe 30 or 40 of them. But I'll let them all go again on January. I've done it only 1 year, January 1st, and they were all back in by the end of the day, January. They're not going to change, but yeah, Richard's a good guy. If you guys aren't subscribed, I'd like to see him. It'd be awesome if they did it on Alex's appearance on the show. Would be awesome. So, and if you guys don't, I believe it's 10 o'clock Thai time Saturday night. There'll be some stuff out. If you're not subscribed to Richard's, like I said, subscribe. You'll get notified and see if it's, it's unbelievable, right? I mean, so I'm going to keep track of everything. I've got all the hours and the material that I did on the front pond. We did just order the 12 mil glass. I just said I wasn't having any luck finding the glass for the front pond. So I'm just going to do it. I'll put it in there. He's going to cut a groove for it. He's not going to notch it or do anything. He's just going to cut a groove, kind of like what David and Seren showed me. He did a little pond, and he did it the same way that my guy was going to do it. So I told him, hey, if you feel comfortable that way, go ahead and do it, because I can always change it if I want to, but it should work fine. Depending on whether the glass is gonna bow or not, that's gonna be the thing. But it's gonna take 2 weeks to get the glass, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, it's unbelievable, and they're happy to get it, Joe. I mean, it's like it's not even because I feel bad, and that's why I don't have a problem at all. I need to borrow 5,000 baht, or my mom needs this or whatever. I just give it to them because they're good for it. Guys will come here and bust their ass, 20 days straight to make sure that I get my money back. So I've got no problem in helping them. I looked at it at first like, God, this is just so cheap, but it's basically the going wage right now. And I give, like I said, buy them lunch, do stuff for them. So I'll probably do that today now that my wife's home. I'll make sure that she orders lunch and everything for everybody. Then hopefully the fish will be done. Everything will be done. So let's see. Sorry. I miss comments. All right, if I miss something, guys, go ahead and put it back up if it's something that I can answer. I'm imagining, I think the front pond's going to be about 30,000 baht, maybe something like that. I'll do a breakdown on that. Like I said, I'm going to finish up the little members only. Probably the same thing. It'll be 5-7 minutes long, and then in a couple of days I'll release it. I'm only keeping it a couple of days just to kind of give the people that are basically, I think, getting the membership, knowing that it's going to go help that one kid. They're doing it for that reason. I don't think they're doing it for any other reason, which is awesome. But just to give everybody something that, oh, look, a members, whatever. You get a members only thing. And if there's other stuff that I can do, like like I said, this microphone, but that goes for anybody. First one that is around this area, I'm more than happy. If I could ship it off, I'd give it to somebody that really wanted it and needed it for karaoke stuff, like somebody in the Philippines. And I might still do that. So if somebody there, one of the gals, or has a friend that wants to start up and start singing, but doesn't have the equipment or whatever, maybe I will box it up and send it off to someone like that. I wouldn't have a problem doing that. Phone was in pocket. Sorry, what happened? I missed something there. And you know what is, Munwa, did she ever get in touch with you? You'll know what I'm talking about, the teacher. Because my wife's here today, I'll maybe have her send her something if they haven't. It's kind of weird getting some people to do things. Easy sometimes, hard other times. You seem worried about the thickness of the glass. Could always put. I was thinking that too, but I figured if they're not bonded together, I'm going to get some kind of fogging or something in between that thin slot in between, which probably isn't going to be. Well, maybe it'll be perfectly flat. I don't know. I looked it up. There's even some stuff I think I can buy, and bond it myself. But somebody said, I think it was, I don't know if it was Black Sheep or somebody said you need to have heat when you're bonding them. Double things, just seal it. Yeah, that's good. That's true too. I don't know. I might have to buy 3 pieces, because if this piece breaks, then I'll just buy 2 more and try to do something like that. They have to do it though, but I just don't have the ability to speak Thai. So I can't call one of the manufacturers in Bangkok and say, hey, I need a piece that's going to be basically 25 mil or, 22 pieces of 12, bonded together this size. It'll take me 3 hours to try to, what I just said in 3 seconds, it'll take me 3 hours to try to get through to them and have them understand. So she's already ordered it. So it was, I think, 1,200 baht. So we'll see. Hey, Joe, thank you. I appreciate it. It will go to my wife and she will do it with it. Dave, can you also give key? Is that a wrench? Is that a wrench? Maybe it's a wrench. Yeah, I could do that. Let me get to some stuff here first. So again, Dave, you can send. Yeah, if Verna's interested, she's still here. Or did she leave? Find out if she's interested in it. I would do that. I think good people. I don't know if she has. She doesn't have a decent setup, right? I don't think. I don't know. I never. I've watched her sing a few times, but I never paid any attention to the equipment she has. So by all means, ET, if she's around, jump in, Verna. If you're here, and I'll give you my email. Well, my email's in my thing, but I can give it to you anyway. It's koidoctor1@gmail.com. Good night, everyone. All right, Ralph, thanks for hanging. NyQuil is good. You know what? They took all the good drugs out of it long time ago. It used to be my favorite when I was sick, anything cold, flu, runny nose, all that kind of stuff. And they took all the good stuff out of it, I think, because people were making speed with it or something, whatever the case may be. It used to be way better than it is now. I haven't had it in a long time, but they took all the good stuff out of it. But have a good night. Thanks for hanging with us. Appreciate it. Yeah, no worries. No worries. Getting the cold. Tommy's getting the cold. I feel like, oh, that's no good. I haven't been, besides the being in the hospital for 3 months, well, originally, almost 3 years ago now, coming in January 1st. I haven't been sick. No cold, no flu, no nothing. I never got the virus either, so. You feel like a turd? Let's see. I took a COVID test this morning, clear. I think I just weather call. Yeah, I used to get it. When I used to get sick was being in HVAC. A lot, 99% of our stuff was big commercial stuff, hospitals and stuff like that. Even from when we started the company, we did a little bit of residential in the beginning, and then once we got going, it was only, the owner of whatever hospital, the director or whatever's mother-in-law needs air conditioning, then we'd either work on it or install one. But we had one of our biggest customers back then was Western Bagel. Anybody from California probably knows that name. Their first place was in on Sepulveda in the San Fernando Valley, and then they're all over the state of California. Plus, they send them all over the world. Now they grew. They were very, very small, still a decent sized company, but they had like big freezers that they would freeze the bagels in. And besides the stuff that they froze to send out, I'm talking about the dough stuff and stuff that they would do. So they could lose the whole proofing, all sorts of stuff. What I'm saying is 130 degrees inside the bakery, and you're walking into a minus 10, minus 15 freezer. You got a big jacket on, but I'd always get sick. Every time I went there and spent any time working on their stuff, I always got sick. Big temperature changes. Your beard gives you immunity. Thanks, Internet Monster. Yeah, maybe. I got to cut it too again. I noticed it's getting a little shaggy. My wife usually lets me know, but she's hasn't recently. Me, what's my background? My background's HVAC, heating and air conditioning. Ever since I did start years and years ago with load cells, which are weighing. Whenever you see a digital scale, it's stress on metal. And there was only like a guy taught me that owned a business that my cousin was partners with him on. And I was like at one time one of only like 10 people in the world that knew how to make one from start to finish, because most of the big companies, one person would work on this, one person would work on this. No one would take it all the way from start to finish because they were afraid they'd go out and open their own company. I did that for a little while when I was younger and some other stuff, but I was coming out of high school and my buddy, good friend who's passed now, said, I'm going to start an air conditioning company. He'd been doing it for a year, but his dad worked for a school board in HVAC. He was a genius. The guy knew everything. So he started. I went to him, got the bank books, and opened up a business. And I was there for 25 years. I think we were together. Never had an argument. I had one argument, and I was gone. It was kind of sad. And then 5 years later, we made up at my 50th birthday party at my mom's house. We're best friends, best men at weddings, that kind of stuff. And I mean, every day we saw each other. Pretty much 7 days a week for 25 years. So I'd say that's pretty good. And we had a disagreement about paying employees, and I wanted to pay them and give them raises, and he didn't really want to see it that way. So I said, these guys are busting their ass for me, so I'm not going to do it. And I left my stuff there and walked out. So probably quite a bit of money. I probably could have stayed, but I didn't anyway. The So HVAC was my thing, and then at that point, I went to work for UCSF as a building engineer for 8 years, and then retired from there, and actually went out disabled, and then retired. And the retirement that I got, unbelievable with the union. Got good things, bad things to say about unions. They tried to bust my stones when I was doing the air conditioning because we were the biggest non-union contractor in Los Angeles at one time, 120, 130 employees, and I was dealing with the unions, and they didn't have enough right answers for me. I could go into it, but it would bore you. But anyway, being on the working end of it as a employee, it was awesome. They were given more than minimum wage in per hour into my retirement. So I was there for 7 years, I think, and I just retired January of this year when I turned 65 in December of last year, and 18. I think it was $1,800 a month for the rest of my life for working 7 years. It was unbelievable. I was in total awe, and we weren't some company that hired people off the street and gave them $5 and said come on and work. We had 401ks. If they were paying their 10 knockers, their sheet metal guys, $35 an hour, we were paying $34.25. So I mean, it wasn't like we were undercutting them that way. Best medical, 401s, they had everything, insurance, everything. So it wasn't that way. But it was awesome. And the insurance that I had working for the Operating Engineers Union was, I look like a welder. I did do my share of welding in piping, because basically when you talk about a pipe fitter is basically what a refrigeration or a air conditioning guy is considered, a pipe fitter. And we did a lot of hospital stuff. And I mean, I didn't do much welding on the big pipe, 14-inch steel pipe headers off of chillers, pipes 8-inch, 6-inch, a bunch of that stuff. But but I did have, we had a bunch of fun, and I kind of miss my buddy. He was born on Christmas Day. I was born on the 22nd of December. We've known each other since 5th grade, and he was a drinker, and we talked about that before. A lot of my friends were alcoholics, and a lot of them are passed away, and I could think right off my head, 6 of them were alcoholics, and young, 48, 55, 56, way too young. So when people say being, drinking all the time, does it what toll on you? Well, all you got to do is look around, and the people that are, except for George Burns, he was my hero, smoking and drinking till 99 or whatever. Make or take. It was all stick stuff that they did, not on the big pipe. TIG and MIG stuff on stainless steel, I think, when we did condensate drain pans and big air handlers and stuff. I keep hitting my ring on my cup right here. But so I was around a lot of welding, but we had a lot of fun. I mean, it was only me and him when we started. And when I left, like I said, I think there was over 100 employees at least. And I had gotten more into the installation part of it, and he was running basically the service part of it. So we probably had I want to say 50 to 80 people in the installation, and at least 25 or 30 in the service department, and then all the supporting structure of that, whether they be office managers and that kind of stuff. So it grew into quite a large size company. But it was we both have different outlooks on life. I was at one point, I said, I'm getting ulcers, man. I got people calling me at 5 o'clock in the morning saying guys aren't showing up, and and this and that, and I said, how much money do we really need to make? At that point it was a lot of money. So did I walk away from something that probably could have been more? Yeah, probably. Am I happy that I did? Yeah. I'm not happy that I lost my friend for that period of time, but I am happy that I walked away from it. It was ruining my life. I mean, I didn't like the you know the stress it was putting on me. Wasn't worth the money to me. Nothing like that's worth the money. Hey John, how you doing? I'm glad you could make it. Great name. Yeah, I kind of met Internet Monster through my buddy Tommy had a YouTube channel back in the day, and I was on there and got on one of his live streams with my camera facing the other way, of course, because I didn't want anybody to see me. And on my house, and we went out. The koi were outside, so he called me the koi man in Sarin or something. So it seemed to always been great to me. Always been very respectful, good guy to me. Which sometimes people, I don't know, it's weird. You don't know what to do sometimes with people. I have to go off the way people treat me. You treat me decently, then unless you're outrightly trying to hurt a friend of mine, I got no problem with people. Oh, what's on? Oh, almost an hour and 20 minutes. I'll take a drink on that. Was this the? So Richard said this is better. The sound better with it sitting right there? You guys let me know. You're the one that listens to me all the time. Ramble. Uh, Everybody's saying hello. So that's the basic gist. So I'm kind of excited about the backyard. I am going to probably have to take him today, and I want to get big tarps already set up. It looks like we're going to have maybe a little bit of sprinkling at night is what it's been doing. We haven't got the torrential stuff all day long like we had. But I want to get, if he's going to start digging that, I want to get tarps, even if they're at a very steep angle. Because like I said, a little bit more than a meter below grade. Once we get the slab and the bottom drains put in there, bottom drain, and the block walls put in and poured, then it's not a big deal. Because like I said, I get water in there. I throw a sump pump in there and can pump it out. So I'm kind of excited about starting that. I want to get those poor fish, out of that temporary thing. Some of those fish have been in there for 2.5 years. So people that think you can't keep koi fish in a 3 foot deep pond, it can be done. Water temperatures get a little high if you don't cover it. That's why I put that temporary cover over that one in the back. But it can be done. It just it's got to watch the water and not be stupid like me sometimes. Sometimes I amaze myself, and I'm not going to let it happen anymore. So I got a grandson's first card today, 17, AutoZone for blinker fluid. Yeah, blinker fluid. Most of the kids need it. My wife needed it too. But the that's interesting because I have my cousin Robin and me were born on the same day, December 22nd. She's like 5 years older than me. So I was like her baby when I was born. We had formed a close bond, me and her. I lived with her later on in the years. She ended up going out with a guy that I knew, good guy, but just went through a nasty divorce. Happy ending the story. Got pregnant, was told she could never get pregnant. I still remember we were on horseback talking about she didn't know what to do. She knows he's going to freak out. I said, you don't have a choice. You got to have this baby. I mean, they told you would never, ever have children. So anyway, she had it. I was the catcher at the at the birth, whatever, the Lamaze count, whatever it is. I wasn't the best in the world. Went there drunk a few times during that time of my life, but a happy ending. So Chad was born. I was the godfather. I watched him be born, which was kind of weird, anyway. But they ended up getting married. They've been married for 35, 40 years now, whatever it is. And Chad's that. But when he turned 18, he was at my house, and I never did anything for the kid, nothing. And I had a 65 Mustang, with a 289 in it that I gotten from my first brother-in-law, and it was sitting in my yard. And he was at my house on 5 acres in Agua Dulce, and he said, "Man, Uncle Dave, was that?" Blah, 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 blah. I said, "I've never done anything for you. Take the damn thing." So his dad took it, and I think he said it was the worst thing he ever did because he had to pay all the back. I didn't keep the tags up and didn't file non-op, so it ended up costing him like, I don't know, $800 or something. It wasn't bad, but they had to go through everything. It wasn't sitting there for any other reason that I just didn't drive it, and I didn't register it because I wasn't driving it. So the kid got it. It was his first car. He loved that car, but it's amazing, And that was a car you could actually work on. Look, it's got a distributor. You can actually do something. Let's see. What did I miss? I did the same thing to what? To his dad. Yeah, I'd love to find some kind of a hot rod here that wouldn't cost me a fortune to redo. But it would be nice. Let's see. Logan saying, same trick in the Army, also exhaust. Some young soldiers walking around with a trash bag full of exhaust samples for the mechanics. Yeah, you have a tendency to kind of screw with the newbie in anything, whether it be the service or work or anything. Dave, what time is your? Yeah, I think it starts in the afternoon, Storky Bear. I'm not sure if Tom's here or Mitch is still here. It used to be noon, but I think they moved it to like 3. But I'll find out for you. Somebody will pop in that knows. If Tom usually lurks in the back, and he's a big wombat person, so he'll pop in and tell. Yeah, it'd be great to meet up with you. I'd like to meet a lot of people. Hopefully they'll be there. Okay, when you think you are an alcoholic, how much do you need to drink? You think? I think if you're drinking every day, I think you'd be in that classification. And then a lot of my friends were what I called functioning alcoholics. My one friend that I found out passed out that after my wife passed away, I didn't talk to anybody for 2 months. And I talked to him every day. I mean, we watched NASCAR, every weekend for years and years, knew him for a long time. And I tried calling him, and after like 2 months, I said, if you're not dead, you're in a lot of trouble. Come to find out just a year ago that he died. My wife died in September of 2018, and he died in November of 2018. So, but he was functioning. He was a painting contractor up at 5 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Friday. Of course, right at 5 o'clock, he'd have if he was on a tequila bend, he'd drink tequila for 6 months, and then he switched to scotch, and he did whatever. Have shots of he'd buy the half gallons from Costco, and 5 o'clock, boom, watching until he passed out. Wake up in the morning at 5 o'clock, take a shower, out the door. That was functioning, but I just think he was. I want to say he was probably 58, maybe 59. So I don't know. I think they go younger. I think I abused my body, don't get me wrong, from when I was young up until I was about 40, I think, maybe 45. So 20 years ago, I can't remember being intoxicated in the last 20 years. So, but I still drink, but I'm lucky and have the ability to sit down, have a great Mexican food, which I love, and have 1 or 2 margaritas. As soon as I start going, I switch to, Coke Zero or soda water or water. So I'm lucky I have that ability. I don't know what it would be like to have Mexican food and not be able to drink a margarita. I don't know what that would be like, but it is. And I don't know, man, I couldn't quit smoking. I give people that can quit smoking and quit alcohol and stuff like that the highest props in the world. It's not an easy thing to do. That's why people are saying, well, why don't you just quit smoking? I said, I'd rather quit heroin than quit smoking. I've been 3 packs a day for God knows how long, But all you got to do is, get pneumonia, have a tube shoved down your throat for 2 months, and spend 2 months in intensive care and another month in the hospital, so 3 months total. And you can lose a whole bunch of weight. I was down. I think right now I weigh 125 kilo, and I was down to 103 when I got out of the hospital. And I want to say I'm pretty about. I was a little bit bigger than I am now when I got sick, so not good. So we'll see. I told my doctor that I'd lose. I was going to try to lose 10 kilo by the next time I saw him, and I think I've lost 1.5 right now. So I'm definitely on the way. We'll see. Thank you, Clarence. Let's talk about Clarence. The best one. I sent my son-in-law into a Home Depot for a pipe stretcher. Okay, going to think about that. To each their own, man. I mean, live life, the way you want to live it. I guess I'm not one to talk and tell anybody what to do with their lives. My life was a mess for years and years and years. I feel more, like I said, I think I'm a good person now. Where at some points in my life I didn't, and I stand that way. People can call me names and say things about me and whatever they want to do, but I know the man that I am. So I'm not one to tell anybody what to do. I think that anything in excess, I think, is wrong, whether it be smoking in excess, drinking in excess, doing drugs in excess. Anything that has that excess word is probably not good. Like I said, I want to say in a year I probably had maybe 2 or 3 beers and maybe 6 or 10 foo wine coolers, Smirnoff, whatever they are. So and never and not drunk. No one in here or anybody that meets me will ever see me drunk, nor would you want to. When I was 16, I used to go out to clubs with friends Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, $110. Stand by 20. I was bored of drinking since then. Don't drink much. Yeah, I went a place. They had a place in the valley called Big Daddy's Lounge or Big Daddy's or whatever. We went in there because I had a beard at 15. So, we had fake ID and all that. So 17, 18 years old, we were clubbing. And they poured a hell of drinks in there. But we used to go when me and my cousin bought the bar in Simi. We were both heavy drinkers, and we would go to right around the corner from our bar was Kenna Japan's. So, and before that, we'd go to another bar, but we'd go into Kenna Japan's, and between me and him, would spend a couple $100 in there, and then we'd go out, open up tabs, spend another couple of hundred. So between the two of us, easily on a Friday night or a Saturday night, at least $200-300 each. Yeah, not unheard of. And like I said, when I stopped drugs, oh, how old was I? 35, maybe 40, probably 38, somewhere in there. I did it by cold turkey, and told the story before. I started buying camera stuff. I was into cameras, glass, lenses, all sorts of stuff. And after like 2 months, every time I'd want an 8-ball or whatever I was buying, I had a whole room full of shit. And I looked at it and went, wow, okay. So I guess I want to keep not doing this, and I never did. Cluster headaches, I tried the weed thing with filtered cigarette, deal, and it worked. And I haven't had I had cluster headaches my whole life. And once I did that for 2 or 3 months, and I'm talking about one hit through there at night, and that was it. Or every time I felt cluster headache coming on. Haven't had one since, and that was 15 years ago. It's weird. I've talked about that drug, or they call it drug, that plant. They're not even scratching the surface. It does a lot of good. They're going to find out exactly what it can do, and it's going to be amazing. Yeah, I still Jones for a cigarette. I know I won't, because my wife says if you smoke, you will die. So I don't want to freak her out. But boy, I mean, did I enjoy smoking? Yeah, man. I mean, it was. I enjoy thinking about it now. I better not think about it anymore. We can have fun. Yeah, it was. It just when I got to the point that I knew that I didn't want to do drugs in excess or anything like that in excess again, then my whole life changed. And between my wife telling me that, I had to care about what people think and not have my attitude was, go screw yourself. If you don't like me, I don't care. You know, she said that's the wrong attitude. That was the hardest thing for me to try to make myself a better person, was that, because I really was like, well, why? Why do I have to care what this person thinks? And she explained it to me many a time, but it was the hardest thing that I had to swallow, I guess. The other stuff, cussing, stuff like that, I want out. Like I said, I don't like to show anything on this channel. I try to keep it. We went a little negative the other day, and that's okay. That shit happens. And but if you heard me speak before, every other word out of my mouth was not a good thing. And being around my wife and her church people, which were nice, real great people. I still keep in contact with some of them on Facebook. And it was better. I shouldn't have been sitting there. These people, not everybody wants to see certain things or hear certain things, and they shouldn't, especially if you're in public. I told you guys about the Dodger game where the guy was being abusive and the guy took his knee and put him down, and I had to try to explain to the cop, this guy deserves everything he gets. Let this guy stay with his family and watch the Dodger game. There's certain things that shouldn't be said, especially if you're in public with your wife and your kids or something. You have to understand and be a decent person. I don't know. Like I said, it's hard for me sometimes to say that kind of stuff because, at certain points in my life, I didn't consider myself the best person in the world. I don't see it as a wrong attitude. What sign are you? You talk like me. I'm on the cusp, December 22nd, Sagittarius and Capricorn. But I think I'm actually Sagittarius. Or am I Capricorn? Somebody that knows that stuff will probably know. How much a pack of cheap here if you're a smoker. I hate to say that to people. I think I was paying, I don't know how much it is this very day. A couple of years ago, it was 80 baht. I think I paid for, I was under $2 for a pack of cigarettes, right around somewhere between $1.50 and that wasn't name brand. I smoked, I forget the name of the ones I smoked now. It was cheap compared if you're coming from the States or, California or New York or anything. Cheap. Yeah, $8-9 a pack here. That's crazy, man. I know when I went to New York with my cousin, he wanted to go to, what's the name of the one in big hospital anyway, back east. And we were in New York. And back then, this was 10 years ago or something, It was over $10 a pack in New York when they were only like $4 or something, or $5 in California. 70 bahts, okay. So maybe I paid 60 2 or 3 years ago when I was smoking, or 4 years ago when I came here. 60 baht. That sounds better. 60, I think. And I would buy, two, 3 cartons of them, and then I'd be out, and 3 packs a day goes pretty quick. Hey Les, how you doing? If you guys want a good information and good content channel, Les at Retired Living the Dream does some really good stuff, and he's a good guy. So if you're not subscribed, by all means subscribe. What was he saying? 400 to 500 baht per pack. Wow. So at today's rate, that's 12 to 15 bucks, right? Wow. That's about how it is on the East Coast, I think. It's crazy. I mean, even now here, 70 baht. I mean, when I came here, it was like, wow, this is great. I'm not going to go broke smoking. But I'm glad that I quit. I can breathe. I know that if I did start smoking again, my wife's probably right. I probably would croak. Pack of 30 is $40 to $43. Wow. Would go broke if I took it up again. That's outrageous. We got 20 cigarettes in our pack. But I don't know what the Aussie dollar is for that. Hey, there's Robbie. See, I remembered. Robbie, 10:55 in California. See, now me and my wife that smoked, of course, we used to order 20 to 30 cartons every month. I would order them over the internet. $7 a carton when we were paying $15, $18 a carton way back when. And then Obama came in and said, you can fly all the cigars you want in the air, which I smoked cigars, which it was okay too. But no tobacco products, no cigarettes. And he stopped that. Well, then I went to the Indian reservation and found a place there where I could buy them. So I paid less than, like, I think the highest I ever paid at one of the Indian reservations was $20, and that was for Marlboro 100 lights. And I think at that time they were $80 a carton in California. I think they're over 100, obviously, now in California. And then when I got here, it was like, okay, good. At least I'm coming to a place where I can afford to smoke. It was like, woohoo, I should have been going, oh, great, now I'm going to smoke more. But it's insane. And like I said, pricey there. If I was smoking 3 packs a day in California, it would be costing me over $30 a day just in cigarettes. Forget about anything else. Eating, I couldn't live there. If I was a smoker, I couldn't live there. So I guess that's one more reason. If you're in the States or in the UK or in Australia, you can come over here and pay almost nothing for cigarettes. If that's what you want, I don't want to condone that. But let's see. My uncle just passed, and he would always say smoking doesn't cause cancer. I'm kind of, Robbie, I'm kind of a believer, and have been for years, that if you're going to get cancer, it's already predetermined in your body. It's just when. And I think that maybe some things in this life push it quicker, I guess. But I think if you're going to get cancer, you're going to get cancer. It's just when. Like I said, my biggest hero was, when I was smoking and drinking, was George Burns. He was burning cigars and smoking and drinking drinking liquor. I think he was 99 when he passed. So, yeah, 3 packs a day. Unbelievable, right? Just chain smoking. And it wasn't like I only smoked them down halfway. I mean, I smoked a cigarette. It was horrible, man. Cool. Yeah, and they also, if you guys do see Robbie's channel and Live My Ass Off Mike's, they do a Saturday morning 8 a.m. Thai time live stream. And I think they have, in fact, somebody maybe can post the links, both of their links. That would be great if somebody hasn't already. And then I don't know that one, Robbie, the one that you guys are combined on. I'm like, computer stuff is just out of my reach. I'm not good with it. But I know you guys have another channel that you can go through that you're trying to build up people. And if you know the name of the channel, I think you can put it in there, and maybe one of the moderators can check it out and find the link and post it for you. Saying hi to Joe. Colon cancer is mind blowing. You know what? My grandfather died of colon cancer. My mom, her father, my mom, I think she goes 3 times a year and gets what I call the garden hose, and checks out the colonoscopy. I think I told you guys a story before. I went to my doctor, and at 50 they want you to come in. And at 50 I went in, and for my physical, and he said, okay, well, on your way out, schedule it. And so I just walk out and come back the next year for my physical and go, you didn't get this last year. Make sure on the way out. Now, I think I was 54 when he finally said, Dave, what's the deal, man? And I said, man, shoving a garden hose up there, I'm not going to be the one signing up for that. You can tell me when to be somewhere and that I need to go do it, and I'll do it. But I'm not going to, just volunteer and try to do it. He just laughed at me, said, okay, I'll do it. There it is. Chris has got it handled. But yeah, and it's really surprising because my mom still goes and all right, Aaron, um, check in on my wife. Hope everything's good on that. Too. I guess I'll hear from you. Private message me or something. Um, the what was I going to say? Oh, when they did do mine, nothing, nothing there, no polyps, nothing to try to biopsy or anything, and said come back in 10 years, which is just right about now, and I haven't volunteered that up yet either. I probably should because a lot of these things that they catch, breast cancer, colon cancer, they're up on that stuff. They catch it early enough, and you're like in the 99%, of beating it. So I would say anybody, make sure you go. I'm an idiot. And Joe put it up. Good. You're covered. You're covered, Robbie. And that I'm gonna have to subscribe to that too. I'll have to go to my my YouTube so that I could actually see the link, and I'll do it. Hold on, I gotta open it. There I am. Okay, I'm got back up. Yeah, you know, hey, Joe. Yeah, I'm trying to joke. I mean, it's good to joke about everything. I think certain things hit people certain ways, but it the thing with that and breast cancer, that at least what I've been told, and I have a cousin that is a survivor for 30 years breast cancer. My cousin's wife, I think 25, and she participates in all the stuff. I see her on Facebook and the pink ribbons, and I'm always, my wife died of cancer also. I was going to say cancer, a word and then cancer, but I won't say it out loud. But yeah, Joe's apologizing. Um, I think, and thumbs up, David, for sure. And you know what? It brings a tear to my eyes every time that I see that. Maybe the one gal. I think she was on TikTok, and she did the dancing. She was in the hospital with cancer, same as my own leukemia. She had bone marrow transplant, and now she's like a heavy set gal. When they shoot you up with all the what is it called? I forget the miracle drug. It's a miracle drug, but it makes you gain weight and stuff. And this gal, after my wife passed, I watched her all the time, and I forget her name. I forget all that stuff, but she still does stuff. She dances with her kids, and she was stuck in the hospital during the pandemic. Kids couldn't come. She couldn't go. I mean, it had to be a nightmare, but she beat it, and she's a survivor. So, don't know your name, sweetheart, but thumbs up. There's Mike's, and there's Joe and and Chris. Awesome job, guys. Let's see. But yeah, I don't know, man. I think that they need to. I don't know. Like I said, my wife, if she would have been younger, like this lady's, I want to say she was maybe late 30s, 40 years old, something like that. I'm guessing. My wife at 60, if she would have been 40, she would have still been alive. If you've never experienced that, we won't go into this too much, but they just bring you like this close to dying with that chemo, and then they say, okay, here you go. It's like, well, if you're 30, it isn't that big of a thing, but when you're 60 and not in the best shape in the world, it's not an easy thing. So all my things go out to everybody. They say no worries. But it's interesting facts. Let's see. All right, an hour and 45 minutes. I think I'm going to end it. I'm not going to do any kind of an after deal or anything, I don't think. And I think I'm going to do it and go out, and kind of excited about getting started on that back pond. Plus, I got to fix my headphones broke. But I want to thank everybody. There's been some new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. I try to keep everything positive. We went overboard the last one. Hopefully that won't happen for a long time now. I think I got it out of my system. So hopefully I didn't piss off too many people. We lost a couple subscribers, but then we got back 7 or something. So I really appreciate everything. I'm going to go over to Richard. And again, he's the one that did both the intro that I play before the live streams and the outro, and Richard's mom, if she's still watching, and Richard, if he hope he's got rid of the couch, and everybody, a couple of people that come in that hadn't been in before. That's great. You don't need to, but when you feel comfortable, as long as they're respectful questions, I got no problem trying to answer them. If I can't, maybe there's someone in here. If they can't, I don't know what to tell you. We like to have a good time. Try to keep it upbeat most of the time. And with that, I'm going to find Richard's outro and say I will catch you on the next one. Everybody have a great day.